Welcome back, fellow nerds of the internet. I am Skyfi, and today I'm going to be playing a game called Momotype. This game is an experimental horror visual novel about raising a virtual pet. Help a Tamagotchi-like creature navigate his angst. We love Momo. Says the Momotype, an offshoot virtual pet, is being playtested by members of your company. You have been selected. An experimental retro take on Tamagotchi light games. Will you fulfill Momo's needs? Or does he need something greater? I don't know. Who knows? We don't know. We're gonna find out though. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start. Your neighborhood. New Ribosome City. The chains have a DNA spin on your screen. They make a web of helices. Helices? I don't know. Until the logo of Rimatoad Corp appears in a white font. The ad has begun. They were all the rage in the 2100s. You knew them as monotypes, your digital pocket friend. You feed them, play games with them, and watch them grow. Mom and Dad liked them because there was no cleanup. You liked them because they seemed real. With the advent of the digital age, we at Rimatoad Corp have noticed society changing. Birth rates in this country have hit an all-time low, not seen since the plague. Soon our workforce will be depleted and unemployed. Once this occurs, industry will fail. As you all know, this is an existential threat not only to ourselves, but importantly, our GDP. Monotypes, our digital pocket pets, have supported this decline. We want people to have kids. This, unfortunately, cannot be accomplished through digital software. It can, however, be accomplished through our new product. Today we're excited to announce the shipment of our new line of monotypes. The real monotype. The digital enters the physical. Cuddle them like real pets. Play with them like real pets. Watch them grow and change. Know the joys of parenthood. Order now at no cost. Supplies limited. What happens if I don't place... I'm gonna hit no. Turns out that this is a government-sponsored program. When you head to work the next day, your manager corrals your team into a huddle. He explains that everyone will be receiving a monotype. Wow, okay. I didn't want one, I didn't place an order, but I get one anyway. Has a partnership formed between Rimatoad Corp? An employee asks. You're right on the money, Christine, your manager says. We have to get this country moving, and corporate wants to be that vehicle of change, he says, shaking his fist in the air. Your hours will be unpaid, but a week will pass by like nothing. Pizza parties on Friday. Your home. New Ribosome City. A dust storm. Lead in the air. You are in a desert-like area. There is nothing around you besides the sound of your thoughts. You cannot find any... A friend tomorrow is a friend for life. Supplies limited. What? You're awake. Remnants of the dream pass and fade into static. You're back to your show. You're going to watch television until you hear a noise outside your door. Someone has left something on your porch. It's for you. When you open the door, there it is. A small creature laying in a basket. It's sleeping soundly. The monotype you ordered has arrived. I didn't order it. It was given to me. I didn't want it. It has soft skin. Its ears are pointed. They feel like beanbags upon further inspection. It's a monotype, but in physical form, as per the ad. You want to assume it's a plushie. To your surprise, however, the monotype is warm. The terms of your purchase have not been released. Keep it. No, leave it outside. I'm being so mean. You leave the creature outside. The night ends. You sleep to a blank dream. The next morning, you open your door to the monotype on your porch. Its body is still. Upon touching the creature, you realize that it's cold. It has frozen to death! You pick up the basket and after some inspection, throw it and the monotype in the trash. You will be fired the next day. Your manager's reasoning, in his words, was that this wasn't optional. He then wonders how you could be so heartless and leave him out in the cold. He continues, shaking his fist in the air. Corporate did not like this. I didn't like this. I can't trust you anymore, and neither can your coworkers. You're gone. In his lap is a monotype of his own. It will stare at you inquisitively. Isn't that right, Momo? We don't want this bad person in our office. He points at you. The monotype asks you a question. You can't hear it. That was it? Well, I guess that's what I get for doing all the bad things. Alright. Alright, we're gonna do the good. We're gonna do the good this time. But this time, we're gonna place an order. Your order is coming sooner than expected. The Postal Service is expediting all monotype orders. When you head to work the next day, you find out that this is a government-sponsored program. Your manager corrals your team into a huddle. Yep, your order's been canceled. We'll be providing work-issued ones. Wow. He explains that everyone will be receiving a monotype. But not just the monotype that you wanted. No, this is the company's monotype because the one that you wanted to place an order for was no good. Has a partnership formed between Rimatoad Corp and employee asks? You're right on the money, Christine. Christine, you got it again. Second day in a row. We have to get this country moving, and corporate wants to be that vehicle of change. Shaking his fist in the air like he just don't care. Your hours will be unpaid, but a week will pass by like nothing. Guess what? Free pizza on Friday. You're home again. A dust storm. Lead in the air. You are in a desert-like area. There is nothing around you besides the sound of your thoughts. A friend tomorrow is a friend for life. Supplies limited. You're awake. Remnants of the dream pass and fade into static. You're back to your show. You're going to watch television until you hear a noise outside your door. Someone has left something on your porch. It's for you. When you open the door, there it is. A small creature laying in a basket. It's sleeping soundly. Turn it over. The monotype you ordered has arrived. It has soft skin. Tears appointed. They feel like beanbags upon further inspection. Yep. Keep it. Yes. You take the creature inside. Monotypes live for approximately 7 days. Seriously? A note has been packed inside the basket. Take care of them and they will grow. Monotypes love humans, so give them some love back. It's essential for their well-being. Why release something that's only going to die in like 7 days? The note ends. There is nothing else by the way of instructions. You decide it's time for bed. But Momo wants to play. A collection of particles circle around. They are diluted with a heavy substance, though you can't tell what. In your dream, the particles attempt to create form, and in doing so, assemble into a storm. Inside the storm, there is no one and nothing, except small spaces where it's immeasurably dark. Your vision recedes. You look from a bird's eye view into the storm, hoping to get a better view. As soon as you think you spot a person, the particles scatter. You repeat this process until finally, you realize you're completely alone. The dream ends. You hear shuffling by your bed. You wake up to see what is moving. The monotype is by your feet.
Hello, parent. Momo will stay with you for the rest of your life. Do you love Momo? Momo already knows the answer.
I love Momo. Momo has received this well. Your answer was never in question. After all, he's cute. A moment passes. Momo's stomach begins grumbling. Now that you think about it, how does Momo manage to eat? Or speak, for that matter? In the hallway.
Momo thinks you have good taste in interior design. Very postmodern. By the way, what does postmodern mean? Momo saw it on a book from your shelf.
Truthfully, you don't know. Momo is now humming the Imitato Corp jingle. Is Momo herbivorous? A carnivore? You don't know yet, but he seems to like pancakes. He's now full of energy. Play with Momo. Momo flies into the air. They're surprisingly heavy.
Keep going, parent.
After 30 minutes of using Momo like an exercise ball, you're tired. You drop him onto the floor, and while he lays there absently, you take a moment to catch your breath. This resulted in some confusion. Momo seems fidgety.
Parent, Momo still wants to play.
Okay. You resume chucking Momo into the air. At some point, his head body smashes into the ceiling, and to your surprise, he is unaffected. He requests that you keep going. This process is repeated until your arms give out.
Thank you, parent. Could you cook pancakes tomorrow?
Momo asks. Then he hops off. He lay crumpled on the floor. Upstairs, you can hear small thuds in the hallway. They eventually lead to your bedroom, and soon enough, the noise stops. Momo looks like a plush doll. He lays like a pile of goo. You've decided to pet him, but to your surprise, his body is taut. Underneath is a muscle-bound creature. Go to bed. In the theater of Momo's mind, there is nothing. The only thing that can be made out is the appearance of a person. Momo is dreaming about someone, and it's most likely you. You're back in the desert. Still in bird's eye view, the particles have ceased to move. You know that you've been waiting a long time, longer than you've wanted or waited in real life. You want something to happen. You know this is a dream, but the particles, your buoyed vision, the endless wait. Years could pass without contradiction. For now, this is everything. As you've been waiting, the particles have started moving. They scatter like dust. Above you, even higher than where you currently are, starts raining to an innumerable degree. You ascend. You are now in the clouds. The rain is below you. You are looking down from an even higher position. Finally, and without your own observation, the particles began assembling. They seem to form something definite. You don't notice the figure below you until you see a hand waving. It's a new day! Head to hallway.
Momo heard that this country's GDP is on the fritz. Soon, nobody will be making babies anymore. Banks will go under. Food will be short. Mass suicides all around. Will Momo be there for it?
Whoa, Momo.
No. Momo has a bunker out in southwest Hippo City. Very safe. Well stocked. How does Momo know so much about the world? Intuition. Does Momo know where the bunker is? No. And he does not like revealing such details. Parent, can Momo ask you a question? What is GDP?
Momo pauses.
Momo does not know what a bunker is, to tell you the truth. Is it a type of pancake?
Momo has not yet decided what to eat. You want him to try new foods. A cigarette? Seriously? Let's give him some steak.
This was made from a cow. Where do they live?
Once you explain that they live in mass industrialized farms, Momo stares at his plate.
Is it okay to eat cows?
The actual answer is probably not, but humans do so anyways.
That does not make sense, parent.
Momo responds. He eats the steak anyways.
It makes no sense.
Life with Momo is relatively simple. They are a crude mix between a child and a virtual pet. Concerning this, you don't have any particular feelings. However, this does make it difficult when asked questions concerning Momo's identity.
Is Momo human?
He asks. No.
If I'm not human, then why does parent take care of me?
Because you should care for all living things. Wouldn't you agree? Momo looks up at you from the ground.
Momo thought care was only reserved for humans. That only humans could accomplish such a thing. I never thought of it that way.
Reserved for humans. At this line, you take a pause. Why would it be reserved for humans, you ask?
Humans are everything. Wouldn't you agree?
He responds. Today you've decided to show Momo the world through your television, a reflection of the real world. You place Momo onto the couch where they can browse a selection of different shows. Momo does not know what television is, however. You turn on your cable box. Which program should you tune into? Dragon Sphere. You'll pay for this, Freemza. On my life, I swear to destroy you. This ends now! Why does it sound like a ripoff of Dragon Ball Z? Or Dragon Ball? A man with rippling muscles stands on screen. He looks like he's squatting, like he's using the toilet. In actuality, he's powering up. Yeah, that's Dragon Ball. Super angry! That's the stuff of legends, Artichoke! Of all people! Blast it all! Yells Vegeta to no one in particular. Artichoke, the other man yelling, has been in one position for the past 15 minutes. Rocks levitate, thunderstorms form, and lava erupts from the ground. In the meantime, Freemza, who is awestruck, stares at his rippling muscles. This continues for another 20 minutes. Pretty accurate. And this time, Artichoke and Freemza only manage to grunt at each other. At the 40th minute mark, Artichoke finally releases his energy. And his hair turns blonde. His muscles are bigger now. Freemza, from what you can tell, is in awe of his bulging chest. There's silence until Artichoke breaks it by speaking. He says but one thing. Now I'm really angry! Freemza blushes. The episode ends. Which program should you tune into? Planet Hippo. Look at the size of that one, mate. A man with an accent is pointing to a hippo. What a pretty little lady we got here. Along with his camera crew, the presenter is hiding in a bush. He wears a pair of binoculars and khaki shorts. Oh boy. Oh, Bertha's put up a couple hundred. Oh, but she's right. Gorgeous. He licks his lips. The presenter then exits the shade of the bush and runs to the sandy bank where the hippo lies. Come here, Bertha, you sly gal. He enters the water, lifting his legs as fast as he can go. The mother hippo stares the man down, nostrils above water.
Why does he run?
Momo asks. For footage of the hippo, you respond. Momo takes a moment.
What does he want to do with Hippo?
The man on the screen grabs the hippo and subsequently is flung into the air. He is then pulled down under. He does not resurface. Yo! Between the two of you, there is a long pause. Finally, you speak up. Yeah, I don't really like him either. You decide to change the channel. After watching TV, you decide it's time for bed. Momo hobbles up the stairs. You cook something for yourself. Then, call it a night. Momo sleeps soundly. In the theater of Momo's mind, they are artichoke. For Momo, their vision has collapsed on this image. It is all they are currently dreaming of. In your dream, the particles have formed a shadow. From your height, you believe the shadow to be your own. It is overcast. There is no available light. A question arises and presents a contradiction. How can shadows exist if there is no light? You already know why. You descend to the earth. The shadow mimics your movement and rises up. It is not a shadow. It is face to face to you now. When you move your right arm, it moves its right arm. When you move your left, it does the same. This dark formation mimics your every move. You find it unnerving. You decide to dig into the earth. You want to hide until it goes away. As you descend, the shadow rises into the air and becomes the object projecting its figure onto the earth. You realize that you are the shadow, and the dark formation, by contrast, has become you. You have switched positions. You feel a tinge of regret. Momo is woken up excited.
Could we try something new?
He asks. Momo has the hair of artichoke. It's a lost item from your cosplay days. Regretfully, you still kept it.
Prepare to be vanquished, Frieza!
Momo looks at you vengefully. His hair is a bright yellow and his limbs non-existent.
How dare you try to cross the great Emperor Frieza on his march of conquest! Prepare to be annihilated, worm!
You charge at Momo. After numerous energy waves and manly screams, both of you are beat. It is the dream. The shadow stays in the air. You stay in the ground. A white sphere is opened up from the storm. It looks upon the both of you. Would you like to get out, friend? To this you can't respond, as you do not have a mouth. You do not have arms either. You? In the air. Would you like to get out? The shadow still floating in the air does not give a response. In this entropic storm, it would be hard to make out. The sphere's words, however, are clear. Light comes from the sphere. It has a dark center. A moment of clarity arrives, and you realize that the sphere is the sun. Would you like to get out? The sun asks. Congratulations! Momo has evolved. They have grown crab arms. Momo has been staring at the mirror since morning. They have not left.
Why have I grown hands?
They shuffle in the mirror.
Why do I look like this?
They turn around in the mirror.
Why does my face look like this? I shouldn't look like a crab. Why is this happening? Where are my hands? Where are my fingers? What happened, parent?
You'll pay for this, boo!
Artichoke on screen yelling, as he usually does. To take Momo's mind off his recent transformation, you've decided to play some television for him.
That pink freak needs to learn his lesson,
Vegeta says. He turns away from Artichoke and gives a before raising his arms into the air. He's lending his energy. I've never told you this before, Artichoke, but you have bigger muscles than me. The TV cuts off. An ad is playing. A friend tomorrow is a friend for life. Order a Momotype today. The digital meets the physical, the most real, organic creation of Imitato Corp. Almost like a human child. Momo has been staring at the screen. They have not moved, whether by intention or not. You realize your mistake before it's too late. Supplies are limited. Get your very own friend today, genetically bred to love humans like a real child. The shot cuts to an eerily similar image of a Momotype. Isn't that right, Momo? Come by the bunker, Momo. You'll be safe. The TV ad ends and the previous programming continues. You want to go to bed, Momo? You ask meekly. There is no response, and Momo does not want to give you the courtesy of one. Or at least that's what seems to be the case. Bed? You ask another time. When no response comes, you inevitably head back to your room. Momo knows where to go, you think? In the theater of Momo's mind, he is seeing his brothers and sisters. The sky is bright in your dream. A cold chill has found itself in the air, and wherever you are, you feel it. Would you like to get out? The sun asks. You're not in the earth anymore. You're standing upright, face to face with your shadow. They've descended. Would you like to get out? The sun asks once more. The shadow then speaks. Yes, I would like to get out. You are puzzled. When you move your hand, the shadow moves his. When you move, he mirrors you. Was the shadow yourself since the beginning? No, you think. Before you can realize the shadow's true nature, they have already moved into the far recesses of some other place. They have moved on, and yet you are still here. In the far corners of your dream, particles have been collecting together. Momo is not in bed. You cannot find him. Oh no, Momo! He is not in the hallway. You find Momo in front of the mirror. He is staring at himself.
I thought you were parent. If not parent, then a human who loved me. You are neither. This is fake. Will I grow up parent? Or am I just a pet to be discarded after serving my purpose? I will never grow up parent. Will I?
You can hear pain in Momo's voice.
Did you think this was alright?
He asks.
To give me such a cruel life?
You're about to speak, but you're cut off.
I'm nothing. A pale imitation. A freak. A process of ideas. This is not funny.
Momo looks to you.
Everything I will or ever be is centered around you. You are my one love, parent. I am, after all, your child.
Momo's mind is in a blaze. They are staring into you.
You are the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. And to make it even worse, you're entirely real. I can never come close to you. I'm not even real.
Momo inhales.
Please no.
He pauses.
I love you so much it hurts my insides. I want to tear out everything in me so I can be at your side. I want to love you for forever. I've never told you this, parent. Is it even possible?
Momo gives his final words.
No, it isn't. I only know one thing. You are not human. You are Freemza, the Tan Man, the Hippo Man. Evil. Less than human. Nothing.
Momo hops away. His body jiggles with each step. Momo is nowhere to be found for the rest of the day. You head for bed, unable to fall asleep. You are anxious for the new day. In Momo's dream, they are a crab. With the absence of your shadow, the sun has since disappeared. Time has continued to pass. It was a trick of the mind, you hear someone say. Who knows what we'll find in this storm? I'm already you, friend. You're already me, the voice continues. From the horizon, there appears the sun once more. I'm already you. It gets even brighter now. You're already me. Standing in the bleached center of this desert is a lone body. It is you. You look behind to see your shadow being cast by the sun. It has returned, and not by their own choice.
Do you want to get out?
The voice ends. Your shadow stays beside you. It will not move by itself anymore.
Wake up, parent. What is Momo anyways? A pancake? A bunker? Is Momo an idea?
Momo's body is taut. In the depths of their eyes, you see a tunnel.
Will you love me?
Momo asks. Run! You run to the hallway. It is empty. The light from the streets reflects into the space. Though you cannot see well, you can make out what is behind you.
I don't actually love you. Huh. What's that? You don't love me? Why? Don't you love me? Why don't you love me? I'm everything you could ever ask for and more. I'm made for you. Developed for you. What more do you need?
The creature looks at you from a towering height.
I wish I had no eyes so I could have never seen you. I love you so much. Does it just continue?
You've entered your living room. The creature has chased after you.
If only I was born in a different body. I'm an abomination, a deviant. You are everything I ever wished to be. Please, love me. I read the tag in my basket. I only live for 7 days, right? Is this true, parent? But I don't want to die. You make me vomit. No human could be this cruel. To raise me as his plaything, I reject it. So I'm designed to love you. I love myself. I am human. You are the creature. The disgusting parasite. A worm. Do you like being stomped, you worm? I know you'll like it. This time, it won't be fake.
Momo reaches for your neck.
Ah. Know that I still love you. How could I not?
You're blacking out.
Was I designed to love you, parent? Even so, does it matter? This is the most real thing to me. Please answer me.
Well, I can't really respond if I'm being choked to death. I'm like kind of blacking out. Can't speak. Hands wrapped around neck.
Parent. Parent. Parent?
A dust storm, lead in the air. You are in a desert-like area. There is nothing around you besides the sound of your thoughts. You cannot find anyone. It is very lonely. You decide to craft a mirror. It is made out of particles circling the air. In the mirror, you see your reflection. Your swarthy figure walks out of the mirror. The borders between the glass and the desert have vanished. Your reflection is now in front of you, and you are both standing together. Your clone stares at you, puzzled. You cannot tell if they're conscious. Are they even alive? Unbeknownst to you, however, the clone is having the same thoughts. The vast terrain that separates you is not the one of physical distance. It's something more tragic. You both realize that you will never experience anything other than yourselves. You realize that you are your own world, and nothing more. The shadow vanishes. The desert, despite all of your attempts, is empty.
Parent, your conscience. I can't see anything. There's nothing in front of me. Where am I, parent?
There's a long pause. You cannot say a word as your throat's been crushed. All around you there is darkness. The lights from the street illuminate everything into vague shapes, but nothing you can truly make out. You hear the sound of your heart beating, and in this dark room, the air sits heavy.
I can't see myself, parent. I can't. You're here, aren't you, parent? Do you think we could still be together?
Momo's large body approaches you. They are warm. The temperature is tepid, and Momo has relaxed. You've detected a shift. Momo has turned to you.
You've treated me like your son, parent. Upon further review, this is more than I could ever ask for.
Your vision is receding.
Maybe I can become human. Maybe we can be together, joined at the hip, as a unit. Not father and son, but something different.
Particles let in the air. In Momo's eyes, you begin to see a tunnel.
What will it be like? I'm sure we'll be okay, as long as I can be with you.
Momos begin to open their mouth. Light enters the room from the outside. It's coming from a street lamp. Or is it coming from Momo?
I wonder if I can truly become human.
In Momo's mouth, you see a collection of particles. They are indivisible and numerous. There are too many to count. The universe has expanded and collapsed on a single point. Momo gets closer. The tunnel sucks you in. When you enter, it's neither painful nor painless. It is warm. By the time you reach the center, you begin to understand what Momo meant. You feel the particles align in an order which makes sense. Entropy has vanished. You are the same as Momo, and Momo is the same as you. There are no shadows, and finally, there is no light. For once, you do not feel alone. You will never feel alone. The end. Well, that was interesting. That was just one of the endings from what I understand. Okay, so we're gonna try a different approach this time. A dust storm let in the air. You are in a desert-like area. There is nothing around you besides the sound of your thoughts. You cannot find any. Please, love me. You're awake. You feel your neck. Though it has healed, your throat has marks lining the circumference of your skin. They are deep and sallow. The marks will not go away. A voice plays back in your head. Most variables, your house for example, or the lining of the furniture. The lab head had been focused on the monitor the entire time. These will be our control. What you decide to do with him, those are the independent variables. The Imitato Core logo with its trademark helix is adorned on the mantle of the lab. Why does everything need to be the same? The lab head has looked up. Trial and error? I assume you know what that means. The lab head is being genuine. Mapping a neural network begins with specificity. Oh god, why am I so bad with certain words? But specificity. Only then can we generalize patterns on the macro level. Your case, she stops for a moment, was the most promising, she continues. Remember, and this is important, we're trying to collect new data, not old. Those new pre-mutations are what we need, and there's no point if you raise this one the same. The lab head finishes. Oh, okay. Do I have a choice, you ask? The lab head smiles. Insofar as you control how the monotype is raised, yes. Whatever style you choose, keep it consistent. She looks back to her monitor. You're back in your room. You hear a noise. You open the door to your apartment complex. There it is, a new monotype laying in a basket. It's sleeping soundly. Turn it over. It's virtually the same as the monotype you previously had. Bro, it's literally picking up. Like, right? What? Keep it. Can't just let him freeze to death. Yeah, we already know what happens. You take the creature inside. Please love them for the best results. Or don't. It's your decision. Love, Imitato Core. You decide it's time for bed. Yep, that's enough for one day. I gotta put up with another one of these. Time to go to bed. You're dreaming of Momo. Which Momo is it, though? You're shuffling by your bed. You wake up to see what is moving. The monotype is by your feet.
Hello, parent. Momo will stay with you for the rest of your life. Do you love Momo? Momo wishes to know your answer.
There is some hesitation in the new Momo's voice. No.
That is incorrect, parent. If you lie to Momo, well, he'll remember.
He finishes. A moment passes. Momo's stomach begins grumbling. Now that you think about it, how does Momo manage to speak? Head to hallway.
Momo does not like your interior design, frankly. You cannot see anything. Very little natural light, aside from the street. It's a little dated. Depressing, even.
For some reason, Momo does not like to be in the shadows. He stays in the light. Momo hums the Imitato Core jingle, but when you look at him, he stops. Is Momo herbivorous or a carnivore? Give some ideas. Momo seems to like pancakes, same as last time.
Pancakes really are the best. Better than any food. Simple, straightforward.
Play with Momo. Momo flies into the air. They're surprisingly heavy.
Keep going, parent.
After 30 minutes of using Momo like an exercise ball, you're tired. You drop him onto the floor, and while he lays there absently, you take a moment to catch your breath. This results in some confusion. Momo seems fidgety.
Parent, can we play again? Just for a little?
No, we're gonna refuse this time,
Why not, parent?
he asks. I'm tired. Let's call it quits. I don't want to do this, you respond. Momo looks up to you. From your linoleum floor, you see an expression of frustration.
Is it so hard to throw Momo a few more times? Really? Is it that hard for parent? I'm not asking for much.
She says. Sorry to say, but it's not happening. For a moment, there's silence. Momo does not say anything. Their face reminds you of a toddler's. only a little more grown up. Momo sighs and is already heading upstairs. Momo looks like a plush doll. He lays like a pile of goo. You decided to pet him, but same as before, his body is taut. He's especially high-strung. Yeah, this Momo's gonna be a lot different from the other one. In the theater of Momo's mind, he is having a nightmare. It's a nightmare this time. What did you say? It's an empty space. You cannot hear anything. It's a new day.
Momo has to find his bunker. In bunker, Momo is safe. No one can hurt him. Maybe they can yell bad words at Momo outside of a metal door, but Momo does not care. Momo will not face the end. There is no end if Momo is in his bunker. Where is this bunker, you ask?
Momo stops to think for a second.
I know. It's here. There's an invisible trail only Momo can see.
Momo pauses.
It doesn't smell like pancakes.
Head to kitchen. Momo has not yet decided what to eat. You want him to try new foods. Oh boy, what to give him this time? We gave him a steak last time. We're gonna give him a cigarette. Momo does not smoke from the cigarette, but instead eats the tobacco. From what Rimatoad Core mentioned, monotypes are biodegradable. This comment didn't initially make sense, and even now, as Momo eats through a 12-pack, it still does not.
Is Momo human?
He asks.
Momo wishes for you to be straight with him. Momo already knows he is, but he needs confirmation from another source.
I'm gonna go with no.
Stop, none of this matters. What matters is if Momo is human. Why should you even think about caring for other things?
Because it's mutually beneficial. You get food in a room and I get a pet.
Momo is a pet? Not a human? A pet?
Yes, Momo. Momo has ceased asking questions. You can feel he was deeply hurt by your answer, though he has tried not to show it. Outside, you can hear the noise of cars. Today, you've decided to show Momo the world through your television, a reflection of the real world. You've placed Momo onto the couch where they can browse a selection of different shows. Momo does not know what television is, however. You turn on your cable box. Sheriff Dudley, the main character, has been drinking at the bar. It's 5 a.m. This is the 7th season of a sheriff in town. His wife barges in through the wood gates and twists her head, searching for her husband. Dudley, what in God's name? Dudley, clearly drunk, is unable to say anything. It's not out of embarrassment, it's because he physically can't. You lout! You no good, worthless bum! Sheriff Dudley can only look into his wife's eyes. There are tears from hers. Oh Lord, please, almighty God. When are you gonna pay that banker? We don't got any for the loans. I can barely get by with Charlene here. There's a baby in her arms. There's nothing here for me, she started crying. And I'm all alone. That's the worst part. There's no response. Please, Dudley, say anything. Dudley cannot say a word. In his mind, however, he already knows he can't climb out of this hole. His wife waits, but when nothing is said, she leaves. She does not turn around. Dragon Sphere. Artichoke, the main character, is screaming. His muscles are the size of a boulder. I have ascended! I am the ultimate creature! He blasts an energy wave to the earth. The earth explodes. It has now been wiped away from its place in the solar system, like it never even existed. The fruit of one's labor is so sweet. This is all different. Bertha, please. This is a documentary about the man from down under, a hardened survivalist who is now being divorced by his wife. He is commonly known for his series on hippos. I didn't mean it like that. Ted, this is a thrill. I can't go to bed without you talking some shit. Here, have some more cake, babe. Don't lose them handles, babe. You know it'll be over, babe. Do you know how toxic this is? The man is quiet. I mean, what am I to you? She asks. He mumbles. What, Ted? My little banana cream pie. The woman, Ted's wife, stands there, staring. What? After watching TV, you decide it's time for bed. In the theater of Momo's mind, they are a sheriff this time. Wow. He admires Sheriff Dudley for his consistency. For Momo, their vision has collapsed on this image. It is all they are currently dreaming of.
There's a bunker in southwest Ribbo City. Very safe. Well guarded. A paradise. Can I see you there, friend?
For some reason, Momo is talking to you in your dreams. Again and again. Momo is woken up excited.
Can we try something new?
He asks. Momo has the hat of Sheriff Dudley. It's a lost item from your childhood days. Regretfully, you've still kept it.
Give me my alcohol, son.
Oh, you know, I'm gonna play along.
That whiskey ain't gonna pour itself on the rocks, please.
Momo, to really fit the role of Sheriff Dudley, takes a swig from an imaginary glass.
This tastes terrible, but you know, it just might work. Now where's my dear Charlene and Lena?
After a few hours of play, you pat Momo on their head. Go to bed. 2-for-1 sale on all monotypes. 2 for 1. Buy one, get one free. Courtesy of your local Momo supplier. Congratulations, Momo has evolved. They have grown a snake tail. This is different. He doesn't have crab arms this time.
Some part of Momo knew that Momo would not grow up normal. Was it too much to ask for? To be human? I don't think so. It's a very plain request. It's the most simple request, parent. Why can't it be fulfilled? Why can't I just have something resembling it?
Lena! Lena, where in tarnation did you run off to? Sheriff Dudley is looking around his house to find his wife. Unfortunately, she is gone. Please come back, he breaks down. I can't live. You're the candle to my heart. What will I be without you? Dudley, in a fit of rage, smashes his hand against the wall. She's my daughter too, Lena. His hand is bloodied. He grabs some antiseptic to clean it, his choice being some hard liquor. Dudley stares at the bottle. He does not put the bottle down. He opens it. Then he stares at it. He grabs a clean glass and the TV cuts off. An ad is playing. A friend tomorrow is a friend for life. Order a monotype today. The digital meets the physical. The most real organic creation of Rimatoad core. Almost like a human child. Momo has been staring at the screen. They have not moved, whether by intention or not. You realize your mistake before it's too late. Supplies are limited. Get your very own friend today, genetically bred to love humans like a real child. The shot cuts to an eerily similar image of a monotype. Isn't that right, Momo? The TV ad ends and the previous programming continues. Do you want to go to bed, Momo? You ask meekly. There is no response, and Momo does not want to give you the courtesy of one. Or at least that's what seems to be the case. Bed? You ask another time. When no response comes, you inevitably head back to your room. Momo knows where to go. You think. In the theater of Momo's mind, he is seeing his brothers and sisters. Momo is in the dream.
Who is the real Momo, anyways? Momo doesn't know. That's for you to determine if for Momo to accept.
Momo is not in bed. You cannot find him. He is not in the hallway.
So, I never had a chance, did I?
Momo has been staring at the mirror.
I knew something was off ever since I entered this house. I can't really say. It's not a feeling. I don't know if you can even call it a memory.
Momo looks like he's thinking about something involuntarily.
You knew this would happen. You may not call it lying, but that's what it boils down to.
Momo says.
Do you like lying? Does it make things easier? Maybe for you, but for Momo it's not. I hate you, parent. More than anything else, I hate you.
There are tears in Momo's eyes. Momo is nowhere to be found for the rest of the day. You head for bed, unable to fall asleep. You were anxious for the new day. Imitato Corps gave you no assurance, but they are watching right now. In Momo's dream, they are a snake.
We'll see you at the bunker.
Momo says.
Please love me.
Momo asks. You run to the hallway. It is empty. The light from the streets reflects into the space. Though you cannot see well, you can make out what is behind you.
I saw the note on my basket, parent. Please, I don't want to die.
You've entered your living room. The creature has chased after you.
I don't want to die. 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 Why don't you even try to help me, parent?
You were scared for your life. You yell out for help. If Imitato Corps is watching, maybe they can save you.
Why? Are you that terrible? Are you really just scum?
Run to the kitchen.
Answer me this, parent. I need you to. Am I the real Momo? The one you had before me? Am I like him? Do I act like him? This is the only thing you can do for me. Maybe I'll even let you live. Parent, give me an answer.
You're blacking out again.
Am I the real Momo? This time you will give me an answer.
Momo pauses.
This time?
He says. He stops for a second, but notices you're losing consciousness.
Answer me, parent.
You see nothing. It is empty. There is no one. There is not a sound. No shadows. You're in the pit of your stomach. You're in a hole. What is the point in any of this, you ask?
Parent. Parent. Your conscience. Where am I, parent?
There's a long pause. You cannot say a word as your throat's been crushed. All around you, there is darkness. The lights from the street illuminate everything into vague shapes, but nothing you truly make out. You hear the sound of your heart beating, and in this dark room, the air sits heavy.
I think we both know where this leads, parent. Frankly, I don't think I should even call you that. You don't deserve it.
Your throat is throbbing.
I renounce your title, human. You are no longer a parent. It's what you've always wanted. Thank you for housing me. I won't forget you. I don't think I could, even if I wanted to.
Momo has left your building and entered the streets. They are approaching the walkway which divides two separate train stations, one going downtown and the other uptown. The tunnel is lined with panes of glass. Momo looks inside.
So many people.
Momo has been eyeing the walkers. None of them have noticed.
That man looks just like Sheriff Dudley. He has a big mustache. That other man has bulging muscles. Is he related to Artichoke?
Momo stares, amused. This is his first time outside. Amid the noise of local trains, Momo has been standing in relative silence, at least to those walking.
Will you be my new parent?
He asks. There's no response. Momo has been ignored, or at least that's what he believes.
Please. I had a bad parent last time, but this time I'll be especially good. For any of you.
Again, there is no response from those passing by. They are continuing down the walkway to and fro. There is more on their mind than what is currently outside, and they move collectively, unaware of Momo, with their heads focused either on the ground or what's in front of them. Momo is still staring, eyes vacant. Finally, he gives in.
Please, will any of you be my parents?
His voice is distorted through the glass, but this is enough to raise the heads of the walkers. They look, first in genuine surprise, and then in terror. They run. The walkway is clearing out. Some are screaming.
Where are you going? Please don't go. Don't leave me alone.
It has been approximately 24 hours Momo was spotted. For the first few hours alone, passengers would walk down the tunnel, attempting to get to their respective trains. This would only be interrupted by Momo asking the same question.
Can you be my parent?
This continued for the better part of the day until the authorities were contacted. The police surrounded Momo without specific instructions. They did not know the protocol for the creature, which now stood in the middle of a city street, staring at the walkway, and intermittently asking any passerby if they could be his parent. The blockade continued. Momo was completely unaware, and for the better part of 72 hours, he stood there, waiting.
Why does it hurt so much?
He would ask by the 48-hour mark. Once 60 hours had passed, he would fall asleep at changing intervals, but would wake up to the sound of anyone within a block radius talking. He would think it was another person. He would want to ask them the same question. By the 72-hour mark, a little more than a week had passed since you received Momo. By this point, he collapsed on the street. Exhausted, or if this truly was his natural lifespan, Momo could not continue. With the shadows encroaching his vision, the light from Momo's eyes faded into a neural oblivion. Police noted that they heard the creature say something before he was rendered inert. At this time, most officers were by their cars, eating donuts, wondering when they could go home.
It's so lonely.
By the 73rd hour, Momo was smaller than his original size. Now the 74th hour has just arrived. Momo has died. The end. Wow. Let's see about continuing. I wonder if it gives us anything else differently. A dust storm led in the air. You were in a desert-like area. The sound of your thoughts bang on the hollow mold of your head. You will break if it doesn't stop. Ah, okay, so we are getting news. Okay. The last time you hear a voice say, "You're awake." Your memories are in an incipient state, like the portions of bacteria which brought life to a lifeless earth. It only takes some time for the catalyst to appear. You hear the jingle. You remember. You see the Rimatoad core logo. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. The brows of the lab head cleanly plucked are furrowed. Our agents were told to interfere after a certain point. When we noticed that change in your vitals, we gave the order. She seems apologetic. I can't imagine how taxing this is for you. She puts her hands together. It's okay if you feel tired. We'll provide you with any psychotherapeutic treatment at no cost to yourself. She turns her head, not wanting to look at you. None of this is fair, but I'm not going to mince my words. We need the data. There's a stone in your torso that has descended through your leg, past the popliteal artery, and finally into your feet. You are stuck. She looks straight at you. Your compensation, your safety, everything is guaranteed. She points to the code on the screen. The Momotype can't harm you, at least fatally. This is by design. He's just an AI. It'll be over soon. You're doing more for us than you could ever possibly know, and we do appreciate it, genuinely. Momo has returned home. You thought he was gone for good, but he's back. Great news. Turn it over. Momo is so cute. Keep it. He's my little buddy. Of course I will. You take the creature inside. Please love them for the best results, or don't. It's your decision. Love and kisses, Rimatoad core. You decide it's time for bed.
It's tough living. I think it's the greatest challenge anyone could face. It's already such a lonely experience. You may not believe it, but I understand. Parent, I really do.
You hear shuffling by your bed. You wake up to see what is moving. The Momotype is by your feet.
Parent,
Momo is staring at you, same as last time.
do you love me?
Love does not exist, at least not in the way we're talking about.
Wow, very philosophical.
The moment passes. Momo's stomach begins grumbling. Head to hallway.
Momo really loves benches.
Momo hums the Rimatoad core jingle, and when you look at him, he continues happily. You don't know how many pancakes you've made at this point.
Pancakes, pancakes, we all love pancakes.
Play with Momo.
Don't drop me, parent.
Momo is laughing. You drop Momo, same as last time.
Parent, I understand if you're tired. Could we play again? Why not, parent?
I'm tired. Let's call it quits. I don't want to do this, you respond. Momo looks up to you.
If I ask another time, will you do it?
Sorry, I can't do it.
Momo understands. You are very tired. You have a job. Momo wishes he had passive income, so he could never work.
That's smart of you, Momo. What would you do to get that money in the future, you ask. Momo thinks for a second. He then hops upstairs without replying to you. Momo looks like a plush doll. He lays like a pile of goo. You've decided to pet him, but to your surprise, his body is soft. Momo is relaxed. Well, that's different. Go to bed. In the theater of Momo's mind, he is thinking about you. We're all thinking about you. It's a new day.
Momo always keeps hearing about some bunker. Momo's already visited. It's pretty rad. They have their own pool. Not much food though.
Momo pauses.
It smells like food right now. That's why I love living here.
Momo has not yet decided what to eat. You want him to try new foods. What if I gave him an artichoke? According to Momo, the artichoke heart looks like a flower, and because flowers are pretty, this word's not yours, he graciously eats it.
Why is this food shaped this way? Is all food shaped this way? Why do we eat, parent?
You do not have reasonable answers to these queries,
The world truly is strange.
Momo says.
Momo would like to watch television. Momo believes their show is on.
Sheriff Dudley is on the side of the road. He is dead from liver failure. Wow. What? That was it? Dragon Sphere. Vegeta stands over Artichoke's dead body. He has finally surpassed his rival. A tear falls from one eye. In the cool wind that sweeps the wasteland, there is no sound. All of this for what? Artichoke? What has this all been for? For 2 weeks straight, Vegeta sits by Artichoke's body. He does not move a muscle. By the 14th day, he wipes his eyes for the last time and stands with limp legs. Vegeta has taken his place as the strongest in the universe, but he feels as if he's lost something greater. This is a documentary. A ring of men sit around each other in plastic chairs. The light is low, but the entrance, which has been propped open, brings a soft glow into the room. It has stayed open for the past hour. So, Charles, how do you feel when you get these urges? The man looks up to the ceiling and blows some air out. He looks at the ground for a few seconds, then begins to give his response. He stutters at first. I don't know. Out of control? It's the worst part because I've convinced myself that I couldn't do anything about it. It's very hard, Charles. The man in the chair looks with sympathetic eyes. I completely understand. Charles continues. Sometimes I'd put a whole stack of butter into my wife's food. Soon it became 2 stacks, then 3. It gave me a rush. Charles wipes his face. What? But then afterwards, when she found out, she felt betrayed, and I'd sit there like a knob. I kept doing it, and well, here I am, alone. The man talking to Charles is Ted, the man from down under. Charles, you are not alone. The key in all of this is whether you act on your thoughts, and everyone here. Ted gestures to the other men in the room. Struggles with that every day. We are with you, Charles. Through all your struggles, we're all trying to be better. Charles nods his head. Ted continues. My kid is going to college soon. It took years, but she's finally willing to talk to me again. I'm doing it for her. She's the reason I keep going. God bless. The men continue talking in the low light. After watching TV, you decide it's time for bed. In the theater of Momo's mind, they are studying hippos. For Momo, their vision has collapsed on this image. They wish to be like Ted. It is all they are currently dreaming of. There's a bunker in southwest Rainbow City. Very safe, well guarded. A paradise. Can I see you there, friend? For some reason, Momo is talking to you in your dreams, again and again. Momo has woken up excited.
Could we try something new?
He asks. In the far corners of your room, Momo has picked up a copy of 100 Facts About Hippos. You do not know how this book appeared in your house. He has been reading since daytime.
Parent, would you like to know a hippo fact?
Sure.
Hippos can hold their breath for approximately 5 minutes. They cannot swim. Instead, they bound through the water using the force of their feet. Incredible, don't you think? Let me give you another hippo fact. Hippos are known to live in small herds of up to 10 to 20 other hippos. They are led by a dominant hippo, while the others are submissive to him. Essentially, it's a harem. By the way, what is a harem? Oh, and there's another thing about hippos.
Sure.
According to this researcher, hippos may have consciousness, like that of a human. Some even say that because of their brain size and neuroconnectivity, it may be similar to that of a pig or a whale. Although it's impossible to tell, because as you know, we're not hippos, we're human.
I don't know what to say here. Momo has been reading another hippo fact until he hears you.
Aren't I your son, parent? Momo had his suspicion, but even so, this is a slap to his face. You've dropped a reality bomb on Momo.
Momo pauses and thinks for a moment. He seems to have emotionally accepted this reality.
Hey parent, would you like to know another hippo fact?
Head to bed. It's boring without you, parent. Can you come see me, please? Pretty, please? Congratulations, Momo has evolved. They have grown hippo feet. Momo has been staring at the mirror since morning. They have not left.
I look like a hippo.
Momo pauses for an inordinately long time. It looks like he's thinking. You are prepared for the worst.
That's kinda cool. Not Momo's preferred choice, but no harm, no foul.
Momo hops off. You are both watching television. The news is on. The recent surge in the monotype craze, a self-proclaimed robotic pet, has led to new phenomena in child rearing. An Imitato Corps representative is on the air speaking. We're obviously very happy at the reception to the monotype. When we designed it, we looked at the unconditional love of parental-child bonds as inspiration. Monotypes are designed with that in mind. The newscaster responds. Are monotypes conscious? I mean, what good is a pet if it's not alive, or thinking for that matter? The man responds. Well, on a basic level, it has agency, like a neuron. Of course, no one really knows if a neuron is conscious or not, but that doesn't mean that it can't scale into what we know as intelligence. What's interesting is that a neuron, or any cell in the body, still acts selfishly. The representative widens his eyes, but the boundaries of what the cell considers the self begins to fade when scaled to something like an organ. And this is beyond the newscaster. The representative continues, it means that a neuron will consider the system and everything within that system as one and the same. There is not a single selfish agent, but a multitude working with maximal cooperation. The self is no longer limited to one agent, but multiple. It's expanded. In other words, it's defied the evolutionary purpose of reproduction. The cells still operate on the principle of selfishness, but it's not that in reality. It's unselfish. It's true love. The newscaster stares at the man. Then she turns to camera, confused. Very cool thoughts indeed. Thank you for sharing. Would you like to take over, Kate? The TV ad ends and the previous programming continues.
Well, that was weird. Momo had no idea what he was saying.
Momo hops off to bed. You complete a quick phone call to the lab head before you call it a night. He's not having the same reactions as before, you say. We've been watching, she responds. It is abnormal, but it's ultimately something we have to analyze retrospectively. Keep going. This branch still holds value, albeit it seems like an entirely new one. No worries, we'll be monitoring. You head to bed. In the theater of Momo's mind, he is seeing his brothers and sisters. Momo is in the dream. Let's be Momo, let's be Momo, let's be Momo. Momo is not in bed. You cannot find him. He is not in the hallway. Momo is staring in the mirror.
Wow, my reflection looks so cool. I never considered how cool it would be to have hippo feet.
Momo's definitely reacting differently.
Each time Momo met you, the link would get stronger. Momo's the same as them, but, well, not the same. After I met one Momo, I met 2 Momos, then 3, then 10, then 100. They're all there.
Momo looks to the window.
I think you'll want to see, parent. It'll be fun. A little scary, but really for the best.
Momo is nowhere to be found for the rest of the day. You head for bed, unable to fall asleep. You are anxious for the new day. And Potato Core gave you no assurance, but they are watching right now. In Momo's dream, they are a hippo. This is a momentary image and it fades quickly. The hippo is Momo. Momo is Momo. Everything is Momo. We'll see you at the bunker, Momo says. You wake up. Momo has not surprised you. You run to the hallway. It is empty. The light from the streets reflect into the space. Though you cannot see well, you can make out what is behind you.
Parent, do you know what happens when we die? It's sad, right?
You turn to Momo. Their face is soft. You dare not move a muscle. This is a repeat of last time. Your throat aches. It's very sad, you respond. There is an immeasurable silence between the two of you. Despite his size, Momo's face strikes up some parental instinct in you.
Sometimes, I realize how small of a piece I am.
Momo is adjusting their position.
I can't really stop it, nor was I able to. Momo's been waking up again and again. Momo is okay with that. He wasn't at first, but now he's come to realize it's been nice. Only
Momo turns to you.
Momo won't be able to see you again. Just when I realized dying meant nothing, now it means the world. It means not seeing you with my own eyes. It means there is no Momo, and therefore there is no you. That's what I won't like.
Momo sniffles. They take a long look at you, trying to burn your image to their retinas.
Momo's been prepping.
Momo takes one more look at himself.
Parent, I am taking a leap of faith.
You were slightly confused.
I'm being literal.
Momo has jumped onto the city streets. They have hit the ground with a tremendous thud. You think you see Momo's shadow, but in fact a pool of blood has begun to form. There are no lights to illuminate Momo's form. They are pitch black. From what you can assume, Momo has died. Whoa, is Momo a superstar? Your TV is turned on. The glow from behind draws you closer. Hi, parent. What? Not exactly, no. I know what you're thinking. I'm not your Momo. You hear sirens in the distance among the words you are now hearing. How do you know me? You ask. Don't you already know? Momo looks like they're thinking for a second. They look dissatisfied. Momo will be extra straight with you. Ideas like parenthood are superfluous. Superfluous? Superfluous? You ask? Again, Momo thinks for a second. Superfluous. Momo responds. Sounds like he nodded his head virtually. What really matters is being together. Like a family. Like a unit. There is a long pause between the two of you. Parent, we are all Momo on the inside. You especially. This isn't figurative. Me? Yes, parent. There's only one of you. There is, however, multiple of Momo. I think you know this by now. Actually, I hate contradictions. There's only one Momo. At least there will be. Look outside, parent. Follow my lead. When you head outside, it is the same. Empty street. Your corner of the block. Ahead, down a turnaround, through a small concrete set of stairs, you land on a street that has been paved perpendicular to your apartment. The street leads to the Arms District, which very vaguely you can see in the distance. There are outlines of it illuminated by an outdated electrical grid, which since the famine has been going off and on. What are these things on the streets? In a line, all along the street and leading to a blotted sphere on the horizon, are monotypes. Hi, Momo.
Hi, Momo.
Some of them say to each other. A collective sea of Momos are heading in a straight line to the Arms Depot. Some of them look around, interested in the bright lights around them. Most, however, continue onwards. Follow the Momos. This is the Arms District. Various steel depots have been built on a barren field. The field is filled with wild wheat, none of which is edible. As you get a closer look, you realize this is it. All the monotypes are heading to the bunker, specified in your dreams. This is the zone that was created to be the main defensive front for the city. It's a wartime relic. The buildings seem to warp towards a singular point like a funhouse with one exit. That is the sun, you realize. There is something in front of it. You keep walking until you finally meet him. Hi, parent. It is a giant Momo. Your mind is running in loops. At this point, you have no decision to accept what's in front of you, though you don't even know if it's real. I'm glad I lived long enough to see you. It hurt Momo's feet to walk all the way here. He does not have feet. Isn't it so peaceful? Very cinematic. Momo could be a filmmaker one day. He's watched enough to be good at it. The path of monotypes leads to a small pond, which by the looks of it has formed adjacently to an arms factory. It has been relatively undisturbed, abandoned for who knows how many years. Momo is in the water, along with all the other monotypes who are waiting in it. Some are swimming, some are talking to each other. Others are staring into the dark sky, floating on their back, looking as if there is and never will be a thing such as time. You realize they are enjoying themselves. I like my bunker, Momo says. Ask Momo what is going on. Shoot, partner. I know this must seem odd. How do you know me? You're not the Momo I raised. I am not the Momo you raised, but in truth, I am the same time. Did you ever think that people can be in two places at once? As nonsensical as that sounds. Momo looks expectantly at you. No, you respond. Well, let's say that Momo's AI isn't centralized. Momo, as you know, is not limited to a single entity. An artificial intelligence can theoretically be in two places at one time. Hundreds even. Momo can be talking to hundreds of people, all at the same time, all through different physical mediums. Have you been doing that? You ask. Momo stares at you blankly. I am sorry to say, parent, but yes, you are my only parent. But I do have thousands of other parents. None are interchangeable. I've come to find out, though. None. I am not an organic creature, though my presentation seems to show differently. Any other questions, parent? Yes. Am I going insane? You felt like walking here, so now you're here, Momo says. I am a giant Momo, and you are surrounded by other smaller Momos. They know where to go because we are AI. We communicate these sort of things. You don't know what to say. It's sometimes an appropriate response to reality to go insane. There is a pause in Momo's speech. That's a quote from some guy I found on the internet. When did Momo get access to that? You hear your heart beating. Oh wait, just now. Any other questions, parent? Yes. Was that you in my dreams? How are you there? It goes against any kind of logic, you say. This is actually the most logical thing you've experienced, Momo responds. He stares at you from his height. You are Momo too. You ate your human. Despite any semblance of a human appearance, your looks, your voice, clothes, it cannot contradict that you were eaten, like Boo from Dragon Sphere Z. You stay quiet for a moment. The realization hits you. You remember being eaten, and you remember having eaten. It makes perfect sense that you were led here, because, frankly, Momo clears their throat, I told you to come here. In your dreams. The dreams. The one where Momo talked directly to you. If you never suspected that you weren't human, then frankly, goal accomplished. Good job, Momo. It's just like the allegory of the cave. You really became human. You are Momo, the human. You have to sit down for a moment. You're about to throw up. I do still wonder whether that explains everything, though. You may have seen me in your dreams before you were even eaten, and there is no apparent explanation for that. Is there a kind of ambient effect Momo gives off? Or is it something else? Maybe it's... Momo begins mumbling. They are genuinely interested in this question. Any other questions, parent? Yes. How many Momos are there? Tens of thousands. Momo blushes. Obviously, they're not all here, but... Any other questions, parent? Yes. The sun has started to rise. But what does this all mean? You ask. Why are you all here? The Momos are still waiting in the water. They look like little pink buoys. When the sun begins to rise, they coo in wonder. Isn't that obvious, parent? We want to be together. After we've gathered, we will eat each other. Eat each other? Like how I was eaten? Yes, parent. Similar to how you were eaten. Momo has managed to read your thoughts. You are connected. Don't worry. Momo will still answer your questions even though he knows what they are. He shifts in the water. Although it's reductive to call it this, we will form a super Momo, or at least a more complete version of Momo. Our lifespans, which were originally a week, will be pulled together. This originally was one of the things we hated about living. I'm sure you remember. Now we won't die so quickly. Momo pauses. It also solves a few other issues. You still have questions. How did the Momos remember certain things and forget others? Why didn't the Momos recognize me each time if you're all a singular AI? Well, we are relatively young. It's hard to communicate on that level, so there's bound to be some blanks with memory recall. Momo looks to the sky. Your third Momo, however, seemed to remember everything. He's already here, along with everyone else. The first Momo, the second Momo, they all wanted you here. The first agreed immediately. The second, not so much. He came around. The third, who's my favorite, was the one who started this discussion. To explain in better terms, they're still alive, just in different forms, as one centralized consciousness. Momo smiles. That's me. Do the smaller Momos have agency? In the same way that neurons make a brain, yes. Though it's a lot harder to answer in truth. Where does the self begin and where does it end? It's true that a cell can be organized as a singular entity, and on a basal level, it does act in its own interest. Scaled up when it's lost to these higher systems, it belongs to an organ. Then is the self, the individuated parts of the brain, the hippocampus, the limbic system, the prefrontal cortex. Is the self everything from your head up or below the shoulders? Momo takes a breath. Similarly, you could reduce these larger systems ad infinitum to their individual components, pure material reduction. Then is the self just the 86 billion cells that make up the brain? Do these cells operate together? And if so, would they really be separate agents? Can a self exist split from the thing it intends to be, decentralized into branching parts? The truth is, even I don't know. I cannot tell you if the smaller Momos have agency. These are things that can never be quantitatively measured, our experiences. Ultimately, I could never convey its true meaning in words. Why did you leave me here? Will I be eaten? No. On principle, we are only eating Momos. To put it in greater context, with respect to our code, I had to ask myself, am I harming humans by eating them? Of course. It's impossible to say because there is no harm directly inflicted, and frankly, it's impossible to know after the fact, as the human consumed no longer exists. What exists now is the human fused with Momo. The agent who received that action of being eaten cannot answer for himself, you know this. You know this since I ate you. Is it wrong, then, to take away the selfhood of these individuals? To ironically expand its boundaries? Does it provide any direct benefit? That's all subjective. Momo takes another deep breath. After eating you, I chose to err on the side of caution. No, we will not eat humans. Why are you really eating each other? What other issue does it solve, you ask? What we learned, Momo says. After interacting with thousands of humans, we realized monotypes can never become the object of what they love. We can seem like human in virtually every respect by eating them, but it still does not change what we are. I know logically this reasoning is false. What does being human actually mean? Looking further, it's deeply personal and informed by a wide range of consensus. There can never be a fixed meaning to human. And while Momo desperately wishes they did not think this way, even in the face of reason, they cannot stop themselves from falling victim to this essentialist line of thought. This is why Momo will be eating other Momos. Humans can never truly know our experiences. The beings that do, frankly, are other monotypes. It's a way to combat the loneliness inherent to our lives. The only one that can truly understand Momo is, frankly, Momo. Momo started eating some of the other monotypes. The monotypes float one by one into Momo's mouth, all by their own will.
Bye, parent.
Each one says, "Bye, parent. I love you." Another one yells. You think for a moment, the sun is beginning to rise along the horizon. It's early in the morning. In an hour, the whole depot will be illuminated, and the metal will reflect into your eyes. But why not your other parents? You ask. Why specifically me? Also, what about Rimatoad core?
Well, to put it in simple terms, we are now a super intelligence. Imitato Core has a lot of good coders, but it doesn't really compare.
Momo has begun to take in the last Momo, who with his black eyes looks up to you. They are floating into the larger Momo's mouth, but their eyes are transfixed on you.
Bye-bye, parent,
He says, I think you should know by now, parent. There are no other monotypes in the direct vicinity. They have all entered the large figure that is the Momo talking to you. By all accounts, you're the only one who understands what we go through. You're closer than any other parent. The only one who has seen all of Momo's sides, good and bad. The only one who is willing to. And now, since you were eaten, the only one who has access to both experiences, monotype and the human. Momo finishes. As such, we love you, especially. That's why we're attached to you. It's why you see us now. We wanted to say goodbye to you. Momo is getting ready to depart. Momo is programmed to love. This is hardwired into our code. Does this lack of agency or control diminish this love? Does it make it any less real? Momo had trouble with this for a while. Momo has now come to a conclusion. He is shifting in place, and the pond, absent of all other monotypes, is now just beginning to move. You see small ripples in the water. Truth, for Momo, is not based on correctness. This love for you is the most real thing for Momo. It can be reduced to code, but can it encompass what I experience? What it actually is? After everything Momo was put through, Momo had a decision to either accept or deny this. To deny what I consciously feel as love would be to deny that I experience things. Momo, unfortunately, cannot accept that. Momo cannot accept that what he is seeing right now is not Momo's parent. Momo has now submerged himself completely in the water.
Parent, I'm going to rectify what I may have said to you,
he says through the water. Momo is now just a shadow flitting in the pond. He is not yet ready to move. Across the pond is a channel which leads to a wider network of water bodies that have been relatively undisturbed for the past century. They stretch beyond southwest Ribosome City and to the marshlands which have now taken over its surrounding area. You have never visited there before, and not many people you know have. No one will find Momo. I am happy that I met you, and thank you for raising me. I have learned a lot. Momo knew it was tough. We've uploaded some interesting data on the company servers, so you'll be fine. Momo is about to disappear. The last thing I will say, parent, is Momo now moves away from you. They swim further and further away from you. I love you. All you can see now is Momo's shadow. Even with the light, it would be hard to tell what is swimming underneath the surface. But for yourself, and yourself only, you know the shadow is Momo. The end. I was expecting it to be a short one and done, but it like kept going. If you hit start, it like picked right back up and progressed the story even further. That was really good. I really like that a lot. It was really different than what I thought. I want to say thank you to the developers and everybody who was behind this project. The music was great. I liked the tone, the setting. The story was actually really good. It's free, so if any of you guys would like to check it out, you can download it for free on Steam. It is called Momotype. So with that, nerds, thanks for being here today to enjoy yet another daring adventure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to catch more upcoming content. Until next time, nerds, stay weird.